First of all, I want to welcome you to the Worthy of Wonderful, which is the detail for the Women's Empowerment event for the 7-night Alaska cruise on the Norwegian Bliss. I'm Enolia, and I'd love to introduce my partner, Bukeka. Do you want to say a couple of words?
Absolutely. My name is Bukeka Blakemore, and I am very excited about this trip. Worthiness is something that speaks to my heart, and to be able to share that with a group of women, especially with Anolia, who is a wonderful presenter, speaker, prayer practitioner, and I call her shaman because she just really knows how to get to the spirit of things. So we're excited to work together and to share our story of how we've come together to do this as well.
So, just to give you a little bit of a taste of who we are, I wrote a couple of quotes because I know that they're a little prompt. And just to give you a little bit of background about me, I always have this beautiful saying that I love to say, which is dream a beautiful dream or you will be dreamt. And I want you to really, really think about that. Dream a beautiful dream or you will be dreamt. Every day we walk through life, and every day we have judgment projected upon us. We have what people project us to do. And the thing about it is that if we don't hold a vision for ourselves, if we don't hold ourselves where we see ourselves, what we're going to be, what we want to do with our life, we end up actually fulfilling everybody else's role of how they perceive us in life instead of our own vision. And this has been real for us from the day that we were born, because in their love and their holding of us, our parents are like, oh, you can be anything you want you want to be. And they sit there and they go, okay, well, what do you want to be? Define it. Define it. Well, you're smart. You're going to do this and you're going to do that. And we're excited and we get started and we go for that education. We go for that part that we're supposed to fulfill. But is it really our choice? And sometimes it is. You're really, really lucky if you get to grasp exactly what you'd want to do in your teenage years, knowing that this is how you want to define your life. But if it's not, how do you change mid-career? How do you, first of all, stop and say, this isn't what I want to do, and be honest with yourself? And then how do you actually make that transition within your life? That's part of what I love to bring to the table, what Keika loves to bring to the table. These deep discussions, these discussions that go right to the heart, these discussions that define our lives. And we always can't make that change just like that. We need help. We need guidance as to how do I go about making a serious change within my life. So I'll leave it at that, and now I'll turn it over to Keika.
Well, that is exactly when we step into our worthiness is when we really begin to answer that question. And sometimes that's really hard to do. We don't even realize many times that we have separated or have a perception that we are not um, where we want to be in terms of our worthiness, because worth is something that is often equated to deservability. Do I deserve this? Do I or um, a quantitative value, as opposed to an inherent state of being. So I love to say, in fact, and this is not mine really. There was a minister by the name of Sharon Poindexter who was doing a series of recordings on relationships. And so in the middle of her recording, and I paraphrase it, but you are worthy, not because of what you know, not because of what you do. It's simply because you are. And and that is enough. So our worth is inherent. And so I share that with people that you are worthy not because of all the things that you accomplish in life or all the things that you know how to do or all the money that you make or any of those things. Your worth is absolutely inherent. And by meaning that you have the within you everything that you need to have the life that you want. And it's not given to you, it is already there for you. And it has been there for you from the beginning of your time. So that's that that's kind of what piggybacks off of the dream. We dream of a life, and whatever that dream is, we are worthy of it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bukeka. Oh, so that gives you a little of the taste of our hearts, just our hearts. And, when we're there in the sisterhood and we're sharing and we create that space and we know that everyone is wanting more invited into their lives. It is the perfect opportunity to network. It's the perfect opportunity to share. It's the perfect opportunity to grab that person one on one and really, really not only share and get the insight, but to be in a place to relax and do it. And not have to go back to work and not have to go back to serving and not have to go back to all of the responsibilities that we are, which introduces the Norwegian bliss. So at this point, I'm going to share a video and I am going to just sit back and let the video talk for itself. And please let me know if you can see it,
Get
Sharon.
ready to glide through your bucket list on one of our newest.
Yes, I can see it now.
Norwegian Bliss. Race the sun on a thrilling 2-level racetrack at sea, zooming past Alaska's glaciers or Mexico's secluded beaches. Wage a galactic battle under the stars in a family-friendly game of laser tag. Make waves in our AQUA park or dare to whoosh over the side of the ship. The splashes come in all sizes in our kids' AQUA park. Massage? Sauna? Salt room? Yes, please. Slide into tranquility in our spa and thermal suite. And unwind after a full day of activities back in your stateroom. From studios to family suites, we have accommodations to match every travel style. Look no further than the haven to experience true luxury and exclusivity at sea. Your concierge and private butler await your arrival. The phrase, a room with a view, is taken to a whole new level with our 2 observation lounges that are custom built for the spectacular. Take in some fresh air and stroll the waterfront, where every seat boasts the best view in the house. Dive into the heart of Norwegian bliss at 678 Ocean Place. Charge up your morning with a latte and sweeten your afternoon with chocolate truffles. And show the true meaning of friendship by splitting a smoked rack of mouth-watering ribs or sharing fresh guacamole with a side of margaritas. Whether you prefer your cocktail shaken, your wine chilled, or your beer craft brewed, toast extraordinary days and kick off legendary nights at one of our unique bars and lounges. The laughs are continuous and the beats infectious. The atmosphere tantalizing and the soundtrack always sensational. Whether you're cruising the Mexican Riviera or the wilds of Alaska, there's one way to describe the experiences awaiting you on board. Imagine bliss.
Okay, so I'm going to stop that and then bring us back to the PowerPoint. So this is our itinerary. We will go to Port of Call, Seattle. Kick off from Seattle, be at sea for a day, then go to Ketchikan. Oops, let me just turn off that.
Hey everybody, we're Sean
video.
and Steph, and we're here to talk about all things Norwegian bliss. What?
And then Endicott Arm, Juneau, Dawes Glacier, Icy Strait Point. Then we're at sea. Then we stop by Victoria, British Columbia, Canada for one day, and then come back. And the beautiful thing about this is that I looked up, I didn't realize that Alaska had 10,000 glaciers. It's like phenomenal. And the sacred space, to me, the sacredness of untouched earth and being able to be there and view. And I don't want to capitalize this bouquet. Please kick in anytime you want to.
Well, absolutely. And it's also whale watching season. So, and I think that's the one thing that I'm really excited about because, we're so used to this, to seeing life, in, in human form. We're always, around other people, but we don't really get a chance to see, um, nature like that, especially, something, as magnificent and as ancient as the whales at sea. And so I'm really looking forward to that. The Norwegian Bliss also is designed specifically for the waters of Alaska. So it will definitely cater to being able to see all of those glaciers and see the beautiful nature and the untouched earth, as you said, Anolia. It's designed so that people can really see that and capture that and feel the width and breadth of it. So that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to. The fact that they have a brand new observation deck that, um, from what everyone says, is just is worth it just for that. So we'll be able to do that, on ship, as well as be able to go on land and see how, um and touch the earth of that very sacred space as well.
Yes. And then the beauty also about this is that our programming will just be another activity on the ship. So you will always have something that's engaging you, or if you want to withdraw away from all of it, you can. That's the beauty about it, is that there's no forcing of anything, and you don't have to feel like you lost something. So I love the fact that something's always going on and you can really pick and choose what you want to do versus feeling obligated to go, like, because we have those moments where we're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. Well, you don't have to. You absolutely don't have to. And if you choose to bring somebody with you, if it's a friend or if it's family, you don't have to feel obligated to entertain them because there's always something to do. So we talked about some of the things that we're going to do on the Bliss for our programming, and we're kind of leaving it loose because we want to invite special guests. We want to be able to have that flexibility of doing some really beautiful things based on if we all decide to go offshore for a particular glacier, let's say like Juneau or something like that, where we can gather and we can do a drumming ceremony, or we can do ceremony at a sacred site. So you'll understand about ceremony a little bit more when we talk about our backgrounds, but that is absolutely something really, really beautiful and profound that we'll have the opportunity to do. So we didn't do it really, really tight so that we can give anyone who wants to come the opportunity to do that, and scheduling alongside with the cruise itinerary, the cruise programming itinerary.
Yes.
Any go ahead. Yes.
Oh, and one of the things I was going to say too, one of the people that will be also on this cruise is specialized in special needs. So if you know people that really want to go on something like this, but they feel like they can't because they have special needs, they need wheelchair accessibility or something like that, let them know that we do have that available for them and can meet those accommodations as well.
Yes, it's so great that everyone can go, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So if there's any questions that you have, please feel free to just ask, okay? Don't feel like you can't interrupt us at all. It's more than welcome. So, Bouquet, I'm going to let you lead on this.
Okay, sure. So we have several different cabin types. We have insides that are a part of the group package and balconies, and then we also have mini suites. So I joke with people. I'm like, how bougie do you want to go? And so when people are considering just the inside cabin, they're fine with that because they know they're going to be spending a lot of time outside of that, either on the ship, on the land, in the activities that we're planning, and they're quite comfortable, going into their, nestled up in their inside cabin. And I don't know, Sharon, if you've been on a cruise or not, but inside cabins are nice. It's very cozy, and you feel very at ease with that. Also, though, those are the balconies, and personally, I don't know if I could do it any other way because of the fact it's just so wonderful to wake up in the morning, open up your balcony door, and see the ocean. There is also the fact that there are two different types of balconies and inside cabins. Those are actually based on where you are on the ship. So the one that is priced at 2,175 13, that is more midship. And then the balcony that's priced at 2143.63, that's more in the back of the ship. Same way with the inside cabins, the one that's a little bit more that has a little bit more price to it is midship, and the one that is less is in the back. The mini suite is larger, but the balconies are very spacious, and the amenities are beautiful. So there's plenty of space in the bathroom. There's plenty of space to walk around. There's plenty of space to put things into your closets and little nooks and crannies, just that you can really feel as at home as possible. So, but that is basically what the difference is in the pricing. As far as deposits are concerned, $125 is all that's needed to reserve your spot. Now, we are looking to have those deposits by the 20th, but everything that is paid up until January 28th, 2022 is absolutely 100% refundable. So we think it's a great win-win situation. The um, the options that you have now, if now the one thing you don't see here on the pricing is what is called the ocean view. I can, if that is a particular way that you would like to travel, where you're kind of inside but you want to be able to see outside, I can certainly get a price for you, and there is 30% discounts off of all of their cabins at the moment.
And that's the beautiful thing about, if you hold your deposit now, what you're doing is you're holding at that 30% discount, because sometimes the prices do go up if you don't hold that spot. So what will end up happening is that you'll come back a couple of months later, say, I definitely want to do it, and the price is a little bit more than what it was before. So, it's ideal to put that $125 down deposit, because right now it's a holding place, so that it guarantees you know exactly what you want to pay, and you can make that decision a little bit later on. And if you choose not to, it's not an impact to you. The other piece of that too is that it gives you plenty of time to pay. Okay, so like, it allows you to be able to build up that savings that you want to do, and then pay it all off and not go into debt, which is so beautiful about that. So there's lots of room here, and I just felt that was really, really ideal when I saw that information. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. They they're I think the one thing is that because we're um, because we're doing this on the cruise, the women's empowerment piece, there's no extra charge for it.
That's
And
great.
and so I love that part about it. Also, Sharon, just know we are also registered agents. We are registered travel professionals, and so we are backed by a wonderful company that supports us in the the technical aspects of this as well. So just know that it's, as far as the payments, it's all going directly to Norwegian. It's not coming through our auspices or our accounts. It's going directly to the cruise line. So, and you will have a copy of your registration, and so you'll have really quite a bit of security in knowing that it's all going through a larger body than just Anolia and I. As fantastic are we as we are, we,
What's so thrilling about it is that because it's going directly and because the way it's set up, we're able to offer this for free, and that to me makes a difference because one of the things about women's empowerment retreats that which is already tough is that you got your travel and then you got your stay and then you have the retreat fee on top of all of that, and this just felt so good to be able to offer this without having like that triple impact. So yeah, really really positive. And Bouquet, I'll turn it right back over to you.
thank you. So as you can see here, the cancellation policy, again, the um, everything is 100% refundable up to January 28th. So if you find that there's needs to be some change there in your plans, there is no there's no hiccup in there as well. Um, the Probably the other thing to note is that we do have insurance available. The Norwegian offers it, but we as travel professionals have the ability to purchase that at a or to provide that to our clients at a more affordable rate than what the cruise line is doing. So we offer options in that way as well. We can also help with uh, airline, as well as if you want to come in a little bit earlier before you go on the cruise, and we can arrange your hotel and airfare as well. So we've got it all. We can do it all for you.
Oh, we've got it all. You covered everything. So basically, outside of that, Bukeka, share a little bit about you, your background, your women's empowerment.
Thank you. I would be happy to. So most people know me as a singer-songwriter. They've heard my music and that it is very empowering, inspiring music. One of the songs that I wrote early on was called I Am Worthy of Love. And that's kind of been my staple. But there are other things about me. I, as a speaker, love to help individuals kind of unpack beliefs that no longer serve them, that move them away from feeling that they are worthy, um, with different types of tools that come into play. I love to infuse music with those other tools to really melt away those negative beliefs, those disempowering and unworthy beliefs, so that you can really step into in the visceral way of knowing your worth, of knowing your true nature. So, along with that, I love to travel. I love to travel. And I think that travel is a way that connects us all in such a powerful way. The places that I've been so blessed to go to, such as Cape Town, South Africa, and San Cristobal, Mexico, and Maui in the Hawaiian Islands, just all over the place. Oh gosh, over a decade ago, being able to travel to the Netherlands as a backup vocalist for Olita Adams, and being able to um, connect with those that are uh, trying to find their way in life in small groups as well as in large audiences. So that's a little bit about me and in how to help empower people to know their worth, to live in it, to express it, and to to share it, share themselves with the world, and feel great about it, and be ready for it. So that's a little bit about me. And Anolia, tell us about you.
Thank you, Bukeka. So my background's a little bit different. It's interesting because I was born and raised in New York City, and I came up through the regular corporate experience. And it was during the corporate experience that I had this epiphany that there was just something calling me different. And so I reached out and met my first Indigenous grandmother elder, which is a beautiful woman named Grandmother Isabel from the Ojibwe Nation. And she took me under her wing and she worked with me and she taught me. And that started the trend of meeting many Indigenous elders, having them teach me and learning rites of passage, learning how to transform my own life and changing my life from something where I attended a framework of a structure to creating my own. And what that journey was like to be this, power professional and then wanting to walk away from corporate and just completely transforming my life to being what I am now, which is an international educator, a life coach, a woman who helps those celebrate themselves. We as women have lost the rites of passage and the ability to celebrate ourselves, to stand in our truth, to speak our truth, to be who we choose to be versus what we're defined as. And having had to go through that transition myself, I share that knowledge based on what I learned from my elders, the experiences that I gleaned, and working with others so that they can find and break through the challenges, the fears, and the projections, the judgments that have all been cast on all of us to basically dare to step in the best version of themselves or dare to step into their dreams. So yeah, that's basically the heart of where my love of just working with others comes from, and love of of just knowing that you are powerful and knowing that we are worthy, and then feeling that beautiful energy, that shining light within, and connecting with a beautiful woman like Bukeka. We see each other as sisters, and we see you as sisters, and it's time for us to come together. And that's one of the fundamental reasons why we're having this cruise. Is it's just time for us to come together, time for us to laugh together, to smile together, to have just unprecedented fun together, you know, and just leave the tumultuousness of what society is doing, what others are doing that doesn't make us happy behind for a moment, and take that moment in time and just actually just sit and be and relax and enjoy and be around like-minded people. So go ahead.
And if I could add to that, you know, we've been in a situation for the past year or so that actually has created so many stories. And that's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to hearing the stories of what we've what we're coming through and how we can support and love each other through the next phase of the story, because we're not through the story yet. We're still in the story. And um and but it's making uh a transition, and so we want to be able to come out of the story triumphant. And that's what I'm hoping, and I know that what this women's empowerment experience will do for the participants.
Yeah, yeah. And so we connected together, my sister. We connected together. We want to bring joy, light, love, energy around you that lifts you up, makes you feel good, makes you just want to do the same for others.
Yes, yes,
So
I
join
agree.
join us, come out with us. We're here. We're ready to support you. We're ready to have fun and introduce you to all those that are feeling the same. Just just join us.
Yes. So Sharon, did you have any questions that you have at this time, or did you want to reach out? Yes, it looks like you do have a question. We're ready.
Well, I am interested in doing a cruise. I haven't done a cruise ever, so that is something that I always wanted to do. Um, Basically, I in terms of time frame, I think next year would be a good time to strive to do something such as a cruise. It's just a matter of I'd like to talk with my mom and or sisters to see if that's something that they might be interested in, and just I guess just feel out if that's just something we want to pursue right now. So it sounds like a good opportunity, and there's trip insurance in case something that we can pursue in case something comes up. So I'm just trying to get a lot of information to see if that's something we might want to do in the next year.
Oh, we're thrilled. We're so happy that you're here and you're collecting the information. And I know that there's some that are still worried about the standards of the pandemic. So the cruise line has taken unprecedented steps as to making the ship safe and clean. And I went on their website for the Norwegian Bliss under the pandemic policies, and there was so much information. The best that I could basically say or do is I encourage you to go to the website and just check that for additional questions that might pertain to that. Yeah, because none of them would open unless these steps have been taken. Bukeka, do you want to add anything to that?
Uh, yes, and Alaska itself has been very diligent in making sure that people who come, because Alaska is a tourism, depends on tourism. So but they also, because of the fact that they are a sacred land, want to make sure that people come when it's safe. So there are places that are open, and Alaska at this moment is still waiting because they are making sure that people are safe when they come to their land. So the the cruise line is doing wonderful things to make sure that um, that passengers are safe, and the entire state is doing what they need to do to make sure that people are safe. So you can really feel assured that by the time we go on this cruise, um, they will have done everything to make sure that people are comfortable, safe, and well. And that is all that we are stand for is wholeness, wellness, peacefulness, and so I'm excited about that.
Yes. So I'm going to stop the share now. If there's anything that you would like to ask or to connect with, Bukeka, do you want to give out the number again? You're on mute.
So I am at 816-721-6643. And Sharon, if you didn't notice in the beginning, Anolia is in Africa. And so, how amazing is it that we can do this internationally this morning? But because she's in Africa, we wanted to make sure that we had a U.S. phone number that people could call and get their questions answered. So feel free to take that number down, grab a pen, take that number down, 816-721-6643. And you also have, we'll also send you information as far as your email address. We'll continue to we'll provide you with information you can share with your family.
Yeah, we'll actually send a copy of this video so that way you'll have it to go over anything because she registered. And so we've captured that. We'll make sure that the information gets to you. We want to just say thank you. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for having the interest. And thank you for showing up.
Well, thank you. It's very informative.
Good. All right.